Hi, today we're going to talk about the PMPD's radical versus petrol versus electrical in motors. But first, let me introduce myself, Mithran, and
I'm Dickson.
and I'm going to talk about the electrical motor right now. Okay, let's jump right into it. Basically, it uses an induction motor battery pack, which is much more efficient than the combustion engine. Self-started, it's much more lighter, and the recharge, however, is much more longer compared to petrol, because it's using battery and all that. The recharge will take at least a minimum of 1 hour when you compare to petrol, which is will take around 5 minutes. And however, not only that, but it also requires cooling for the battery, because since the battery is the main source of the sun, the battery can overheat, so we need a cooling system for it. While you don't have that in the petrol, or should I say IC engine, because of it doesn't require that, because it's using internal combustion engine. Moreover, for the electrical, has high torque and speed can be controlled by the induction or by the motor, so the speed can be higher than the IC engines, and it's much more. Even though the car is much more expensive, but when it goes to the fuel and all that, is much more cheaper when compared, which is like 1/3 cheaper than the petrol, and the maintenance cost is low, and it's much more safer than the. So the petrol part will be moving to dickson.
So for the petrol motor, it's using a combustion engine, which means it refuel fast, and it is cheap startup price, where we can buy it like normal car, which is not expensive. Using a complex transmission design, which it has a limited speed, and somehow it has a high fuel consumption, which is 3 times higher than the electrical car. And lastly, it is not eco-friendly.
Yes. So that's the IC part, which is the internal combustion engine. So we're gonna move on to the radical part. Radical, as you can see, I'll be talking more about the disadvantage, and then the advantage we'll be talking about. What Dixon will be talking about the advantage. For now, I'll talk about the disadvantage of the radical motor. Mainly, it's quite huge. It looks like a plane's engine or some sort like that. Normally, they need like some sort of propeller in front of the engine, and it burns a lot of fuel because of the huge size and the capacity. And there is this drag in the surface area of the airstream, so it's quite high, the drag. And since the huge size and all that, it easily can become much more leaking, which leads to more uh, petrol loss. And it's big, huge, and very loud, creates very smoky when ignited. Now moving on to the advantage.
The advantage of radical car is it is using a simple design, and which make it more reliable, and it is easy to build and service. Besides that, the cooling service for all cylinders. Okay, so Mitran,
Yes.
which type of engine you think is more reliable?
Reliable. Based on what we gathered from online and we compared, for me, I think it's electrical motor, because of all the things that I said previously, which is much more efficient in terms of efficiency, is much more better than the petrol or the radical. There's some minor improvements, such as, like I said, the recharge thing. We can improve that in the future, since everything is more electrical nowadays, and due to the technology 4.0. Everyone is moving on a more renewable, clean source of energy. So this will be a good time for electrical cars and everything electric power to be at the best at this.
Yes, and one more thing to improve is the recharging time. Maybe we can improve the recharging time,
Yeah, yes, we can reduce that.
reduce its time.
Maybe by making a better, more power pack battery pack. It might, and also we need a better cooling system for the battery as well, since it overheats and all. And that's the only two things. But when it comes to efficiency, it's much more better. So that's
Okay,
all.
So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.